We're joined now by CSU Bakersfield coach Greg McCall and student athletes Jayden, Eggleston, and Vanessa Austin. We will start by asking Coach for an opening statement and then open the floor to questions for our student athletes only. Once the segment is complete, the student athletes will be excused. We ask media to please raise your hand and identify yourself and your media outlet before asking your question. Coach, if you would, please start us off with your thoughts following today's game.
Hats off to Hawaii for getting that last stop that they needed in order for them to win this game. I have so many emotions running through me right now. Probably a little bit of all three, a little bit of anger, but more sadness, and the biggest one of all is happiness or joy, because of the group that left everything on the floor. When I say they left everything, I mean everything on the floor. There's not nothing that they didn't leave on the floor. Yeah, there was some mistakes that were made, shots that were made, shots that were missed, plays that we didn't get stops on, calls that we didn't get calls on, calls we did get on. But it wasn't nothing that these young ladies didn't leave on the floor. And I mean, not just these two, but the whole entire team. From our bench, from players that didn't, I mean, everybody got an opportunity to play. But the ones that even didn't get to play a whole lot, they left everything on the floor. It was just one of those things that the ball didn't bounce our way today. It did yesterday, but it didn't today. And it's unfortunate because I thought this team really deserved this win. When you're playing the number one seed team that you've played 3 times and coming into the 4th time, most teams will roll over and just quit and already have given up, but not this group. And I've been telling, our local media all year long, once we hit our peak, we're going to be a dangerous team. I've been telling them that all year long, and you can see it, us peaking at the right time and how dangerous this team is. And, it's unfortunate that, you have seniors that have to move on with their lives. But we'll be back. We'll regroup and be back. And these 2 young ladies up here, man, I mean, that's why they're back in here again with you guys, because you know that they left everything out there on that floor. Everything. There was times when I thought, I was like, man, should I sub Jayden out, just to give her a breather. But my coach was like, no, as long as she's not asking for one, as long as like she's tired, let her play. And, man, 40 minutes, Vanessa, 33 minutes. And these are the players that have been carrying us, down the stretch. And so, man, so proud of these 2 young ladies. So I don't want to take up too much more of you guys' time. I can kind of go on and on and on about this team and the things that we've been through as a group. This has been, I talked about a little bit of it yesterday, but, man, this has been a group that has withstood a lot of things, and I'm proud of them.
Okay, any questions for our student athletes, please, in the back?
Jayden and Vanessa, what did you guys see on that last, couple seconds of the game where you guys put up some shots? And do you think there's a foul call, or what did you kind of anticipate there?
I guess in that moment, it kind of felt like yesterday. I knew that obviously we had to get a shot off and a rebound. Towards the end, it could have went either way. I'm kind of disappointed it didn't go our way, but, I mean, it is what it is.
We were right there. Like she said, the ball didn't go our way, and it happens in the game of basketball.
Henry Greenstein, Bakersfield, California. Jayden, what's the experience been like during your time at CSUB of being able to play the tournaments kind of in your hometown?
McCall, he brought me here. He trusted me. And, you know, it's been great. I've grown so much as a basketball player, as a woman. And I'm just so thankful for him in this program.
Regardless of you guys asking student athletes questions. I'm sorry if I'm. But both of these young ladies, they've put their trust into me. And I put my trust into them. They stuck it out with me, and especially this year, you know, Jayden, you know, we had a long talk at the beginning of the season. And, you know, that transfer portal is out there. And there's no secret about it. And both of these young ladies probably could have had opportunities to say, hey, man, I'm packing it in. But I know Vanessa's like family. She's like my niece. And Jayden had to learn to really kind of put that trust into me. And knowing that I was going to be there for her and to make her better as a basketball player, but more importantly, like she said, to make her a better woman. And you could see it on the floor. You could see it in her life and what she's done. The things that she's going to accomplish, both her and Vanessa. I mean, they're two phenomenal young ladies, both on and off the floor. But Jayden just putting her trust into me, it made a huge difference because I know my trust was in her, and it showed out there on that floor.
For either Vanessa or Jayden, seemed like you guys did a really good job defending Hawaii pretty much all game. I was just curious, either of your guys' thoughts on from the top down, really taking Amy Atwell out of the game and just your overall defensive effort today.
I mean, going into this game, we knew we had to take Amy out the game, as well as number 15, Deja. You know, that was the goal. And you know, we just really locked in. I mean, we had to take it possession by possession. We were getting the stops we wanted. We just had to convert. And, you know, at times we weren't converting, but, you know, once we did and once we were on a roll with getting stops and converting, you know, it went our way. But, you know, the end result obviously didn't go our way.
Anything else for the student athletes?
Jayden, Coach kind of mentioned it, you know, you playing 40 minutes. Were there times where you're like, you know, I need a breather? Were there times where you're like, I'm not coming out of this game? What was your mentality?
No, I mean, you got to give it all you got. So, like you said, I left everything out on the court. And I'm glad I played 40 minutes. I can't. It's not one. I mean, that's how the game went.
The other thing that she did was so remarkable. There was times where we were just contemplating on whether we were going to start Jayden on Amy Atwell, because the other 2 or 3 times she was getting buckets. And there were times she was scoring on Jayden. She would give her too much space. There were times we had to put other people on her. But the challenge she stepped up to tonight is just all will, all grit, that Bakersfield grit that we talked about yesterday, and how she just really wanted to just lock in. She didn't give her any breathing room. And as you could tell, the results, you know, this was the MVP of our conference, you know, that who's been dominating our conference. But for her, for me, this is our MVP right here, who's been carrying us all season long throughout all the tough times. And we've had a lot of tough times. So I know our local guys can kind of tell you that, and you guys can look at our record and you can tell that we had a tough season. There's so many other things that factored into it, but we had a tough season. But I'm just so proud of how she handled herself today and being able to play for 40 minutes and then just locking down on the MVP.
Do we have any other questions?
For both players, the emotion you're feeling now, I'm wondering if it hurts as much because it's the finality of it all, or because losing by 1 possession as opposed to maybe 15, 20 points hurts that much more?
I mean, we're competitors. I mean, I hate losing. I know Vanessa hates losing. McCall hates losing. So this one's tough. This one hurts. I mean, we were right there against the number 1 seed, coming in as the 9th seed. I mean, we gave it our best shot, and when your best shot isn't good enough, it hurts.
I agree with Jayden. You know, it came down to one possession. I think it hurts more that it was literally one possession, one layup, you know, because we fought so hard. Like McCall said, like, we've been through adversity this entire season. So for us to come down to that final moment and fall short like that, after we've given our all throughout this whole season, it hurts.
All right. Thanks, ladies. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, Coach, I'm not trying to get you reprimanded, but at the same time, toward the end of the game, you were sort of pointing at the one official who I think made 5 calls against you guys, and there was no whistle on the last possession. So I know you were frustrated, as you said, angry. Again, I'm not trying to get you reprimanded, but can you share just your thoughts?
We missed the shot. I'm going to leave it at that.
Coach, not to dwell on that last play too much, but can you just walk us through like what the intention was coming out of the inbound going to Vanessa on the hook shot?
We had 2 options out of that, actually 3. The first option was to get it into Vanessa. The second option was if we throw it into Vanessa and Andy's man goes to double, Andy pops back in for the shot. The third option, if we couldn't get it into Vanessa, she was going to screen across for Jayden to pop. And now we're looking for Jayden. Either she can dump it into Vanessa or she can rip and go herself. So we got the ball in the people's hands that we wanted to get it to. We got a good shot. We fought for the rebound. Andy got somehow bumped out of bounds on the offensive board. And so time ended. So that's my Greg Popovich answer.
Coach, you touched on it. You know, tough season, COVID battles, you know, conference, road record, all that stuff. You know, you had a great, I would say, tournament here. You know, you battled. Could have been easy for you guys to roll over. What do you kind of rank and grade this season as a whole?
You take out the rest of the season and you just concentrate on this conference tournament. Man, I would grade us really high. I'm always 80% a better guy. You know, I say if you can do things right, and my players know this because I say it so much. If you could do things right 80% of the time in life, that's a B average. And if you can get it higher than that, because we all striving for perfection. We all want to be perfect. But nowhere on God's green earth that we are perfect. That's why we always asking for forgiveness. But if you can grade us, I will give us that high grade, that B plus average, because of how we performed in this tournament. And for me, it's a high A, because when we just won a game by one. It's the highs and lows of sports. We just won a tough game at the buzzer. Took the number 1 seed. We were like one of the bottom seeds in this thing. And the other team that was underneath us was Cal Poly. And we took the number 1 seed down to the wire. And, I mean, Laura Beamer does a great job. I told you guys, we've had some battles. I think I told you, we've had battles. Year in, year out, Laura Beamer and I, we've had battles, especially since she's been here in Hawaii. When she was at Mount Sac and I was at Taft College, she used to kick my butt all the time. So I had to learn how she coached. So I had to figure her out. And once I did that, we had a lot of great battles. She's a great coach, did a great job with our players this year. And I'm expecting them to continue to push forward. And I probably gave the recipe to the other teams on how to be able to guard and defend them. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure she'll make some adjustments herself.
Greg, last question for me. I know what the scoreboard said, but as a competitor, do you feel like the best team won?
Wow. Man, you're making it tough today. Well, I'll tell you like this. I'll tell you what the answer Laura Beeman told me after the game. She said we didn't deserve to win. We did. I mean, their team didn't deserve to win. We deserved to win that game. And that's the answer she gave me. So I'm going to go off of the answer that she gave me. We deserve to win that game. With every ounce of blood in my body, I believe that. Every ounce of energy in my body, I believe we deserve to win that game. We battled, and we fought back down, you know. They had started off 14-7, and we, 12-10, and they beat us by 1 in the third, and we battled all the way back and started back and forth battle. And I knew it was going to come down to the wire. It was just a matter, again, of us getting one stop. And, some calls, like I said, went their way, some didn't. And so it just the way it goes. And so the nature of sports.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time.